Are you in a losing mood?
My mood shall remain unchanged, regardless of your choice.
Ah, is that so? You would bravely bear the crushing
So Bridgerton fans are in for a treat, but it's going to take a little more patience this time. Season 4 is definitely happening, and this one's going to shine a spotlight on Benedict Bridgerton's long-awaited love story. But here's the catch. The season isn't hitting Netflix until 2026. That's later than most people hoped, especially since the official announcement didn't even come until May 2025. Still, the buzz is already building, and with good reason. Season 4 is going to follow the events from the third book in Julia Quinn's Bridgerton series, An Offer from a Gentleman. If that seems a little confusing, it's because the show's release order hasn't stuck to the book order. Season 3 jumped ahead to adapt Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, which focused on Colin and Penelope's romance. Now, the series is circling back to give Benedict his time in the spotlight. This next chapter will explore how Benedict, played again by Luke Thompson, falls head over heels after meeting Sophie Beck at a glamorous masked ball. It's the kind of setting that practically promises drama, secrets, and stolen glances. Sophie, his mystery woman, is played by Yeren Ha, and fans first learned about her casting back in August 2024 through Variety. Yeren spoke to People in early 2025 and said she and Luke Thompson work so well together, and it sounds like their connection off-screen is helping bring the chemistry to life. According to her, they've bonded by staying focused on the story and by really accepting each other, not just as actors, but as the people behind the roles. That kind of vibe usually leads to some pretty magical scenes. Now, as for who's back this season, it's a good mix of returning favorites and some new faces. Luke Thompson is obviously back as Benedict, and Yeren Ha's Sophie will be central this time around. Nicola Coughlan and Luke Newton are returning as Penelope and Colin, continuing their journey after the events of Season 3. We'll also see Jonathan Bailey and Simone Ashley once more as Anthony and Kate Bridgerton, who've quickly become one of the show's power couples. In September 2024, Netflix revealed a few new characters too. Michelle Mao joins the cast as Rosamund Lee, who's described as beautiful, vain, and pretty determined to win over Benedict. Her sister, Posey Lee, played by Isabella Y., seems a lot gentler by comparison. And then there's Katie Lung, who will be taking on the role of their mother, Lady Araminta Gunn. She's feeling the pressure to get one of her daughters married, so we're probably in for some serious matchmaking antics. But that's not all. Familiar faces like Ruth Gemmell, Claudia Jessie, Florence Hunt, and Will Tilston are all coming back. Golda Rosheuvel returns as Queen Charlotte, Polly Walker is back as Portia Featherington, and Anjoa Ando will once again command attention as Lady Danbury. Hannah Dodd will also reprise her role as Francesca Bridgerton, and we'll get to see more of her new husband, Lord John Sterling. Masali Baduza, who made a surprise appearance at the end of Season 3, will also be returning. So, what's the main story this time around? It's all about Benedict and Sophie. Back in September 2024, Netflix's Tudum described Sophie as someone who's been through some tough times. Because of a string of misfortunes, she's been working under a demanding employer for much of her life. But she's resilient and has a way of rising above her circumstances, even if it means sneaking into a masquerade ball she wasn't technically invited to. And yes, if you notice the name change from Sophie Beckett in the book to Sophie Beck, that's intentional. Since Yeren Ha is Korean, the showrunners adapted the character's name to better reflect her background. Yeren herself has said it felt empowering, that instead of trying to fit into a predetermined mold, the role was shaped to fit her. Luke Thompson teased that this season plays with the contrast between fairy tale romance and the reality of society's expectations. He hinted at a bunch of surprises too, which is always promising. Nicola Coughlan mentioned at the BAFTA TV Awards in May 2025 that viewers should gear up for lots more romance and a classic Cinderella-style story. She also noted that Penelope's in a very different place now, married, a mother, and still writing as Lady Whistledown, of course. As for production, things have been in motion for a while. Filming started around April 2024, and by September that year, Netflix confirmed that Season 4 was officially underway. However, it's been taking longer than usual. At the BAFTAs, Coughlan joked that the shoot was lasting about 9 months, calling it a full pregnancy. So clearly, this season is a big one. And just like previous seasons, this one will feature 8 episodes. That was confirmed in July 2024, keeping with the show's standard format. Now, while we still don't have an exact premiere date, we do know it's set for 2026. That means a bit of a wait, but also plenty of time for anticipation to build. And from everything we've heard so far, it sounds like it's going to be worth it. Beyond Benedict and Sophie's romance, the show will continue exploring the lives of other Bridgerton family members. For instance, Anthony and Kate are adjusting to life as new parents, and according to showrunner Jess Brownell, we'll be seeing more of their home life and their baby. It's a chance to dive into what happily ever after looks like once the wedding is over. Penelope, meanwhile, is navigating some tricky territory. Queen Charlotte now knows that she's Lady Whistledown, so their dynamic is going to shift. Jess Brownell teased that this revelation changes how Penelope fits into the world around her, and could impact how much sway she holds in the ton moving forward. Eloise's storyline also seems primed for tension. With Francesca now married, all eyes, especially her mother's, are back on Eloise, but she's not exactly thrilled about re-entering the marriage market. And then there's Hyacinth, who's super excited to make her social debut. The two sisters are paired up this season, which Brownell says will lead to some fun comedic moments. In terms of relationships and power dynamics, Season 4 is shaping up to be pretty layered. We're not just watching romances bloom, we're seeing how characters evolve, how secrets affect influence, and how people in high society try to balance love, ambition, and tradition. Anthony and Kate's transition into parenthood will probably bring its own share of sweet moments and challenges. It's one thing to fall in love, but raising a family together is a whole new chapter. That should give fans even more reasons to fall in love with them as a couple. Penelope stepping into a more public role changes everything for her. Now that Queen Charlotte knows the truth, she'll have to handle her alter ego Lady Whistledown with even more care. And there's no telling how that new level of exposure will impact her relationships, especially the ones she's been keeping secrets from. Then there's Eloise, who's stuck between what society wants for her and what she actually wants for herself. Her story might end up being one of the more relatable ones, especially since Hyacinth's eager excitement about her own debut will likely clash with Eloise's reluctance. That mix of sibling tension and comedy should bring something fresh to the season. All in all, Season 4 is shaping up to be a mix of romance, growth, and social drama, with just enough intrigue to keep fans guessing. With so many character arcs unfolding at once, it's clear the series isn't slowing down anytime soon. Whether you're rooting for Benedict and Sophie, curious about Penelope's new reality, or just eager to see more of Kate and Anthony's next chapter, there's something for everyone to look forward to when the show returns. And with all the new characters, evolving relationships, and unexpected twists teased by the cast and creators, one thing's for sure, the ton is about to get even more interesting. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel to stay in the loop. And if you want, you can share your thoughts about this video in the comments.